Hey everybody, welcome to Sama, Seattle Sacred Music and Art. I'm Derek Mazzoni and I'm here with Dunava. We've been watching practice in a forest, greet the sunset and enjoy each other's company safely, obviously. Um, Thanks for being here. The music you're making is really beautiful. It's ancient. Um, the The band takes its name from the Bulgarian name for the Danube River. You're a Balkan women's choir made up of singers with broad musical and performance experience and a passion for intricate harmonies and varying vocal techniques. Obviously, we can see that you're based in the Pacific Northwest. You're based in Seattle, and I'm here with Jen, Jenny, Dina, Olivia, and Teddy. Thank you. Welcome to Sama.
Thanks for having us.
Derek.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for having us.
How did the ensemble come together?
I can speak to that. I think in the group assembled, I'm the oldest member here. There has always been I don't know about always, for the last 20 or 30 years, there's been a pretty vibrant Balkan music and dance community in Seattle. And there is an ensemble, a dance ensemble called Radost Folk Ensemble. They've always had a women's choir. There was a lull about 15 years ago where there were not very many women singing for the Radost Ensemble. And I just thought, that's a shame. I really love singing this music. So I put the word out to start the choir up again. And here we are. We are currently, I would count us at 13 members. We've been singing together since 2005.
That's a long time.
Years. Yeah, it's an institution now.
And you just released a new CD, a new record, shall we say?
A record. Yes, got it.
We have to acknowledge the transformation of technology and music dissemination. It's a record. It's a record again. You might be releasing a cassette next time.
Sure. That. Why not?
8-track.
I'm dead serious. So let's go a little historical. Why has there been in the last 20 years a significant Balkan cultural and music presence in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle?
That's a deep philosophical question. Jenny, you can probably speak to that.
I mean, there have been groups in universities since the 70s when the folk craze happened, and so all of those groups, have either petered out or they have grown, and children of people who were in college in the 70s are now bolstering the younger ranks. And I don't think that this will ever go away. I think that the appreciation of folk cultures, either in a casual way or for performance, is still just a lively thing that people like to do.
Okay. Was it partly also with the Balkan War, with the Bosnian War? Because I know there was a big uptick of population that came here, like members of Culture Shock and others. They kind of like was there already a population here that welcomed them, or was it like a sanctuary city situation where it's like, hey, you're going through hell, we're welcoming you here right now, can you come?
I would say, I don't know if anybody has an experience on this. I started participating in the American community in the mid-90s, definitely during the war in Yugoslavia. But at the time, my experience was the community was really Americans who cared very much about what was happening over there and about the culture, and went to great lengths to go over as able, study, learn music, learn dances, bring them back. So I think the Radost Folk Ensemble is founded in Americans who love this culture, but that was then fed by increase of immigrants and people coming here as borders opened up, and for better or for worse, wars broke out and people started immigrating to the United States. The immigrant cultures have definitely participated in the preservation of this music and culture over here. And Teddy may have something to say to that as well, being our we are so lucky to have her sing with us, and she is from Bulgaria.
Well, I cannot tell what happened in the 70s, because I know that many things developed here during that time. But yes, definitely many immigrants came, I think, from Bulgaria around the 90s, most of them. Yeah, and from there, it began.
And then about like when the wall came down, and then people could go like, hey, I'm getting out of here. For opportunities. Okay, let's go. We could talk for hours, and I have a habit of doing that. But let's go with our first song, and this is Ergen Dedo, which means what?
Bachelor grandpa, right?
Yes, yeah. Literally translated bachelor grandfather. It's a song that talks about, I guess, an older man going to the village square to dance in the horo with the people in the village who are dancing in a circle. And he, of course, wants to dance next to the youngest girl, Angelina.
Ah,
So it's a bit of a teasing song, and the song also emulates some of the instruments that are playing for the horo. So you'll hear some odd meter, you'll hear some us imitating the tapan, dum taka taka ta 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 dum. That's in the song. So
okay.
it's a dancing folk song.
Perfect. Dunava, ansama.
Ergendedo cervendedo etaka pataka na crivile calpaceto etaka pataka ergendedo cervendedo etaka dum tak tak pataka na crivile calpaceto etaka pataka na dole etaka pataka na crivile calpaceto etaka pataka na dole etaka pataka na gore na dole etaka pataka pautide oceloto etaka pataka pautide oceloto etaka passe pana na poroto etaka passe pana na poroto etaka dum tak tak pataka dum 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 etaka dum tak tak dum dum tak tak pataka dum passe pana na koroto etaka pataka na koroto domomite etaka pataka passe pana na koroto etaka pataka na koroto domomite etaka pataka passe pana na koroto etaka dum tak tak pataka na koroto domomite etaka pataka site momi etaka pataka na koroto domomite etaka pataka site momi etaka pataka site momi pompegali etaka pataka ostanala naimalata etaka pataka ostanala naimalata etaka pataka naimalata angelina etaka pataka naimalata angelina etaka dum tak tak pataka dum 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 etaka dum tak tak dum dum tak tak pataka dum.
Dunava, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you sing in multiple languages, and you sing together. Now, it's one thing to be a band where you can practice and in different rooms. Sometimes obviously you can actually lay down tracks in different countries and put it together. You need to be together to actually make this thing work, right?
For better
Yeah.
or for worse.
But you gotta really play off of each other. So let's go a little deeper to obviously it's a pandemic. Hello. How have you been surviving? How not even as people, food, shelter, money, but as artists that do this work, how have you been surviving this process?
The first thing that springs to mind is that we immediately, even before there was a mask mandate, we got together, and that's the footage that you saw in the woods there. So we were staying distant. So we've been trying to be responsible about not endangering anyone, but we couldn't not sing together. There was just there's something about it that is a part of our week, a part of our lives. But since then, we've been doing Zoom meetings like many, many other choirs, just to keep in each other's lives.
Okay. Have you gone through like an interesting process with this? You call it Zoom fatigue, or then like this is my cadence with it. At first, it was like, oh my God, I'm not seeing anybody, I'm doing anything. Then Zoom happens, Teams, other forms, and you connect, and then there's an exhaustion with that. But then you miss people, and you're going to come back to it. Has it been like that, or has it been a different thing? Have you had no fatigue because you're just getting all this magical pixie dust from singing together in one form or another? Or like what's been that process for you as humans?
I think we changed the way that we hang out with each other. So it used to be, you know, show up for rehearsal, and if you come a little bit early, you could like sidle up to someone and talk to them while you're getting tea together, or, you know, whoever's in your voice part, you could like whisper something while the director's talking, or, but then you're like, we got to rehearse, we have an hour and a half, we have a show, we got, you know, so there's not that much social time. But now it's like, that is what is there. So we can't rehearse. So now it's like, are we a book club? Are we a repository of funny cat videos? Like, who are we as a group now that we don't have the thing that is our essence?
Got it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of I mean, and some people really do crave the weekly social connection, and other folks are like, I gotta take care of my kids, I gotta do Zoom school, I'm out.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of weathering it and getting through it as we can.
But we're getting close. Like, it feels like we could be coming, and I was telling Dina this, like, this is good. This is like exactly, we had this verklempt moment where it's like people are gonna cry when they see you, and
We're gonna cry.
Yeah, we all will. We're all feeling
We're all gonna cry.
like, and it's being able to offer that release. There's something about the power of voice, the power of voices together, the power of female voices together, that kind of like creates that catharsis where it's like, okay, and it's that kind of cry where you feel so much better after, and being able to be together and to share that. So, you know, I know the history of this Angelita and the Bulgarian choir and everything. So there's a deep history there. But as artists, that not most of you have had this experience. What is it that gives you this? What are you getting from this experience together that keeps you there? And what is the thing that that makes you want to share it in this thing? Because I get it with bands. I want to meet boys. I want to meet girls. I want to rock out. You know? I've got a broken heart, and I've got to sing about my broken heart. What is it that makes it work?
There's a lot of this music where we feel like we're rocking out. It's just a different kind of rocking out. Really
Very much.
Tell me about that rocking out energy.
Oh, you saw a little bit of that in the B-roll at the very beginning. One thing that I love about this group of women is it's just so easy to trigger them like a jukebox. It doesn't even have to be from our repertoire. That last little clip in there was from a photo shoot, and I don't know who started singing "Stand by Me," but somebody did, and then everybody's like, "Okay, this is what we're singing now." It's just everybody's brain loves to sing together, and it's just a lovely bond.
500% more I would rather be in a choir than sitting in a concert hall listening to a choir. It's just like right there in your own brain, in your own mouth. Like there's something about it that is so much more than the sum of its parts to be singing together.
Let's you sent a video of how you're actually trying to pull this off using phones and Zoom technology. I love this video. So let's share this right now. This is...
Shall I say a bit about this first, or do you want to?
No, go for it. Let's say.
Yeah. Just as a background, because as everybody may know, it's hard. It's really impossible to sing over Zoom because there's internet latency, and like you couldn't pull off anything simultaneous over Zoom itself, and unless you all are connected to a server, have Ethernet, and have some special software downloaded. It's a pretty technical feat to get to sing together. So Olivia came up with the technique of getting 3-part harmony, which is the most important thing, through a telephone. And so we're going to demonstrate that. This is one way that we've tried to sing together and still get that harmony fix that we need with just the use of Zoom and a telephone. So
okay,
I think the rest of the video will explain the rest of it.
All right, let's watch it. Dunava, Ensemble, Sales Circuit Music and Art.
Right off the bat, which was nice. And like, I think everybody's cheaper. Can you give me the note again? No. Yes. Hello. Going on mute. I am aiming the phone closer to my computer mic this time as well. Great. All right, Meredith, Good to go? All right, turning down my volume. You need to mute yourself on the call, too. And muting on the call. Boom. Что сигоро повягнала, короле, повягнала, посанала. Что сигоро повягнала, короле, повягнала, посанала.
Dunava, ensemble, illustrated music and art. Hey, you did it.
Yeah.
The first time we did that, it was very, very satisfying because up until then, the only thing we could figure out to do is one person would sing and everyone else would turn themselves on mute and sing a second part. So we were really restricted to how much harmony basically you're just hearing yourself and that one person who's singing out there into the void.
Okay, so let's that was beautiful, and you actually pulled it off. So kudos, but it pales in comparison to what you together. So everybody who's just tuning in right now, hey everybody, thanks for tuning into Sama. Let's play. You sent me some videos of you performing. Obviously, you can't perform right now, but let's watch this video of you performing. It'll be about 4 minutes long, and then we'll continue with this conversation. Dunava on Sama, Seattle Sacred Music and Art.
Shvanate Shairare Ravorera Shai Rilia Rudalaiwo Tai Mariwo Dedi Paliwo
Yamara,
Dila Tajil Dilda Tayamara, Voya Dila Quishem Perish Tayamara, Voya Dila Quishem Perish Tayamara, Ela Swan Elia Sawanana, Hodela Salia Sawanana, Dela Swan Elia Sawanana, Hodela Salia Sawanana, Dela Swan Elia Sawanana, Hodela Salia Sawanana, Oisara Shara Maido, 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 Oisara Shara Maido,
All right. That's beautiful. And that's a lot of work. I mean, you gotta remember everything. You gotta remember the song, the dance moves, and if one screws up, then everybody screws up. And it's just like this, like I saw the tension in your eyes there. It's like
Oh, that's not good then.
no, but it wasn't like just being in the business. I was like, okay, but that was great. What was that shot?
What was that? What? I'm sorry.
Where was that? Where was that film?
Oh, that was at Finney. Yeah.
Finney Cultural
Finney
Center?
Neighborhood Center.
Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. The concert
nice.
was sponsored by Seattle Folkloric Society in 2019. That was our last concert that we did live together.
And our first dance performance ever.
First ever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be part of the repertoire now? Dancing.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We got to relearn it though.
It looks like fun.
That
And
one may not have. Yeah, we may need to start from scratch and learning it again, though. That was a long time
that's
ago.
fine. There'll be you'll have an audience for it, obviously. The when you're with this form, there is a traditional outfit that comes with it. I remember when I had the Bulgarian choir on my show on Wopop on KXP. They came in. There was the dressing room, and they came in full regalia. And then when we were done, and they wanted to hear what it was like, it was street clothes. It was civilian clothes, and it was so like, whoa! You're like normal people, just kind of like hanging out, on tour, dressed to the nines. It looks great, but I'm curious, how do you incorporate that aspect? Because those aren't, we're seeing behind Teddy on the right hand side. It's not, it's not just a little thing you put on together. There's a lot of there's a lot of work in that. So I'm curious, how do you incorporate all aspects of this performance, not just the vocal, into that? And we're going to be seeing a music video with some artwork attached to it. But I'd love to hear your take on how do you incorporate that and make it your own? Because in that piece on Finney, you look like what you find in a dance, in a modern dance ensemble, all black, ready to perform on stage. How do you work with that, or do you?
Yeah, I can answer that a little bit. Because we are. I have to kind of think about my answer. I've always, when I started the choir, I wanted to come very much from the choir angle and really feature the music. So I actually did not seek out incorporating outfits and costumes. I wanted outfits that make us look uniform and professional. But also because we sing songs from so many different cultures, it's actually a little tricky to outfit us appropriately, given that any concert will feature songs from like 5-6 different countries. But we do have that lucky association with the Rados Folk Ensemble and their wonderful costume closet. So it is possible, and when we've had Bulgarian specific showcases in the past, we can put all of us in traditional Bulgarian dresses from various regions and showcase that, but it is not the main focus of our concerts usually.
Okay.
And we do retain that little connection with Radost in that we sing for the dancers sometimes. And when we do, if it's a big concert of theirs, we will be in the costume that the dancers are also in. And so then it's a big, glorious floral mess on stage with
Coins.
all of the stuff.
Coins and flowers, and we have had fun creating our own flowery headdresses with silk flowers and what did we like plastic melting wax and putting the hot glue gun
and the hot glue gun. Yep.
We've got.
Oh, that's awesome because see, there's so much there, and obviously, I just found out that you're singing in multiple languages, so you can tap any of those cultures, and the fact that you're living here now, and you don't have to. You're not like trying to emulate anything. You're creating your own interpretation, and you're presenting your own reality with this. And yet at the same time, presenting something which is it's trance-inducing. Like if you go deep into it, you're like it really takes you someplace else because of its energy and just technique, and it's really intriguing. I remember I've taken friends to shows like this, and they're like, I had no idea such a thing existed because it's you have to spend time with it and dig in, and then there's something, it gives you back something that are a general rock show or hip hop show, everything gives you something, but there's something with this that is in some ways unique to the craft, unique to the form. And I'm really happy that you're together, that you're just released the CD, and we'll put a link to that Bandcamp and go and download their record, buy their stuff, because it's great and it's important, and this is the way artists survive. And the money came out of their pockets to actually do this. So everybody out there, support artists, buy their music and buy their merch and whatever you guys have. So please do so.
Thank you.
Oh, Anita, this is important. But you're gonna do really well once the stage is open again, because this is needed and it's lovely. So you sent more stuff, and I want to keep talking, but I want to play a few things. We might see some other things that we've seen before, which is great because it needs to be seen again. It's a rewind, so let's do it. Dunava and Sama.
Just a crucial
Well done. Well done. Well done. That's gorgeous. I am so stoked that you're here, that you're doing this. If you're just tuning in right now, keep using radio language or on video. If you're watching it right now, this is Sama Scientific Music and Art. I'm Derek Mazzoni. I'm here with Dunava, a female vocal choir. It's not just Bulgarian, it's just a beautiful, beautiful choir of gorgeous music. Is this music, is there a lot of it? Are you part of a scene globally, or is it like it's just not being held up as much? Because the reason I bring this up, and maybe Teddy can speak to this, in Poland under communism, there was this huge, like, the West is bad, we will lift up our traditional artists and we'll create this thing. And then once 89 came in, the kids were like, screw that. I want to hear rock and roll. I want to hear hip hop. I want to go into that. And then a little later, the their kids kind of be like, wait a second, this is great. I want this. This is my culture. This is my history. I want to present this. Where are we in that story right now with this music in the Balkans and in the East?
Well, I can speak mostly for Bulgaria, obviously. And you're right. At first, many young people, and to some degree, including me, at young age, I wasn't interested in the folk music. And I guess kids, to some degree, think that it's an ancient thing and not interested. But definitely people love it. And like every other music, you have lovers for life, people that can't live without music, and others that just like something else, like pop, rock, something else.
Okay.
Universal.
So it's alive it's alive in Bulgaria. It's not
Definitely live. Maybe not the choir music, but the folk music will be present at almost any wedding still nowadays.
okay.
So I think that speaks enough.
Okay, so it's going to live on. It's not under threat or anything like that. That's great to hear. Everybody else, what drew you to this? You could do a lot of different choir type of work. What drew you to this? Anyone?
I can start off.
Okay.
So I was lucky enough to be part of the Yale Slavic Chorus, which is one of the oldest American groups singing the kind of music that we sing. It was started by some of the first women who were admitted to Yale as undergraduates in 1969. That's how late that was.
Wow.
And at that time, people were going to these countries and bringing back records from the old state choirs. And, at first it was the Yale Russian Chorus that was the men's group. They brought back these records to the US. And as soon as women were admitted, they were recruiting them to be in this group. And so the group has been singing continuously in many iterations for over 50 years now. We just had our 50th reunion a couple years ago. And that's really amazing to be a part of that lineage. So I was singing with a different folk group, an American folk group, and we did a joint concert with them. And I'm just one of those people who was hooked from the first listen.
Okay.
So got involved with it when I moved out here.
Okay. So were you looking for something like this when you moved out here? Was it one of the impetuses to kind of like, I want to be here instead of someplace else?
Well, I don't know if it was a deciding factor in moving here, but actually I was introduced to this group by Jen, who's also on this call. We met in Georgia, actually. So we both independently studied Georgian folk music. You saw a sample of that in the round dance that we did.
Yeah.
And so we met and became friends on a trip there when I was living in India and she was living in Seattle. And she was the only person I knew in Seattle for a long time. But when I was looking to change jobs, and this was on my short list of places, and it was definitely a big draw to know that there would be this community that I could make music with. Awesome. I came here. So I'm really grateful for that.
Awesome. Very interesting. All of you would make a really good dinner conversation. Fascinating.
You should see our potlucks.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
I'll make a mean potluck.
It's great and it's needed. We all live in this town, and everybody listening all over the world. Seattle is awesome. We love it here, but it can be a little cold. Not as in chilly, but as in like people are. There's the frost here, the Seattle freeze, and music, gathering, talking, eating, drinking, whatever you do really helps. Having a proper light rail system, which starts in October, hopefully will alleviate some of that chill also. But you presenting this and creating this is really wonderful. I want to play this video that you sent to me, and it is your music video. It's called Prochu Samoma for Mom. Tell me what that means.
Prochu se moma nedelja is it's a Bulgarian song. Actually, it's our title track, if you will, for the CD. It's a story. Kind of. it's the story of a young couple going into the forest and finding a clearing and seeing a wedding in the forest. And there's in the last verse, he lifts her veil and gives her a kiss, and it's very sweet. And we use it to feature the artwork of our CD, which is done by one of our members, Fiore Grey. She did this elaborate paper cutting.
Show it, please.
I can hold it up right here, but you'll see it in the video much better. So she said something like she went through 6 X-Acto knives to create this actual, honest, like real life paper cut of this bride, and all the things that are in her veil, the birds and the roses and the eggs. And the booklet inside also features some paper cuts as well. So
Awesome.
So this is our artwork title track video.
Let's watch it. It's gorgeous.
I sure can't help singing along.
Yeah.
I go to video and I'm like, oh.
No, beautiful. Yeah. Where did you record the record?
Jack Straw.
Okay, awesome. Very cool. So go to Bandcamp, pick it up. Any merch.
We have stickers.
Stickers.
Thank you, Jenny.
Put them up on your laptop.
Jenny and Jen got us stickers.
Stickers are great. Stickers are awesome. So,
That's as merchy as we
okay.
get.
Winter, spring, the pandemic, herd immunity, whatever you want to call it. What do you want to do? What's the dream with Dunava?
I'm desperately trying to come up with some kind of plan because I'm really ready to sing again. It's been a long time Zooming and standing outside with masks on, and singing with a mask is just not a good experience. So that's just not a way to be. But we're getting vaccinated. I think we're well on our way. I'm hoping later in the summer, depending on what the guidelines are, we can be outside without masks on to sing. I think right now, singing is, a high-risk activity. So any guidance I see for coughing or sneezing, I apply to singing.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not okay to cough and sneeze next to somebody, you can't sing next to them either. But hopefully by the end of the summer, enough of us will be vaccinated and the case incidences will be down that we can pop up in a park somewhere And then we need to rehearse because depending on what we do, it takes a lot of brain space to keep all these words and other languages in your mind. Not so much a problem for Teddy, but the rest of us for whom this is a foreign language, we're going to need some rehearsal time. And then hopefully an outdoor concert, I'm hoping, before the summer is out. But we'll see. I can't promise. We just need to all be careful.
Okay. Well, you have the record out. You're still, as we saw, you're willing to adapt to technology as needed to continue this. Sama always and will be a live performance, so I look forward to welcoming you to a stage somewhere, be it outdoors or wherever that may be. It's beautiful work, and I'm really stoked that you're here because I didn't know, to be honest with you. It's like, we had spoken about this before. I don't know of other cities, but things get to be siloed here a bit. And you just don't know that there's a theme going on here. Or the way it's presented, it's just the nuance of it just is lost because it's just this Balkan. It's like, what are we talking about here? Like, what exactly?
You just have to luck into it sometimes. Sometimes you just have to walk in with a friend or hear it as you walk by or something like that. It's all of us have stories like that where you're like, what is going on in there?
Exactly. But I feel now that, this is pre-pandemic, and I feel now, as somebody who's been in this for a long time, is that this is needed. And some people, especially my colleagues, are like, what the hell are you talking about needed? It's like, no, shut up. This is really needed. This is really important. And it's going to open up people's hearts. And we need to champion music that does this to them because this is an old story that I always share, but it's like, we went through 4 years of like, what the fuck is happening to this country, to a pandemic, to like, and there's a lot of like fear and terror, and like, now we need to like open that up so that the next 4 years doesn't become insanity again, because we don't know. We're in America's an amazing country, but it goes through a particular cycle. And so I want to use this platform so that people from other countries, other immigrants, other ideas, languages, cultures have an opportunity to be shared and presented. And the beauty of that becomes really the first thing you get. So yes, Jenny, I love wandering in and getting lost. God, I so miss getting lost. I haven't gotten lost in a year. But I feel now that this is needed now more than ever, not because it's beautiful, but it will do that. It will do that to people of certain generations, people of certain political persuasions, and all that. It will open them up a little bit more, and then hopefully we'll have a better future. Sorry to preach. But,
hear, hear.
Absolutely, hear.
Okay, so thank you for being here. I'm going to say bye now, and then we're going to finish, as always, with a few more performances that you were graciously offered to us as these videos. Please stay healthy, stay well. We're still in this whole thing. Watch this, and everybody out there right now, we've got Addictive TV next week. And then we've got Rob Millis with his new project a little bit later. We got a bunch of stuff coming. It's a glorious example of doing what you can with technology. Lots of artists from all over the world. But Dunava, I look forward to seeing you live, to hearing you. I look forward to seeing more videos. That video is gorgeous. Do more of that. That artwork is like stunning. And I could see how many X-Acto knives were lost in that valiant effort. But that's beautiful work, and and you have real beauty and this technique, and the work that you're doing. The CD's lovely. I'm playing it, but you leverage all the technologies that you have available to you to share it. Because yes, it'll be great when people can come to you and see the show, but I don't know when it's going to happen, and they might never get here. But that doesn't mean you can't bring it to them in one form or another. Does that make sense?
I think live streaming is here to stay.
Yeah, live streaming.
This is what I've learned from the pandemic. We got to sing in person, but the online opens the world up.
It can also opens up other opportunities that we don't even know yet. We're living in the future. Everything is crazy accelerated. I haven't had a cold in a year. This is unheard of.
Same.
What is happening here? This is
Yes.
really
Well, stay tuned for a vaccinated Dunava live streamed quartet coming to you, I think, very soon.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And possibly some outdoor shows too. We're talking about that
Yes.
also.
Yeah.
Okay. Be well,
Mhm.
stay healthy, continue to make great music, and we'll see you
Thank you,
soon.
Derek.
Thank you,
so
Derek.
much.
Have a good night.
Ostanala najmalata itaka pataka.